welcome back.
I have derobed. I am back.
Derobed, as in derobified. Don't get any ideas, you freaks.
Yeah, you freaks.
Yeah, you freaks, our friends who are in the chat. All right. So
Hey, what's up? It's me, one of the freaks.
Let's continue. You say the line. You never said Phoenix's line.
That's true. That's true. The accused placed the bucket on the ground. No one has said anything about this until now. That must be how it happened. The girl probably placed the milk bucket on the ground, yes. Objection! Miss Mary, you did not mention anything to that effect in your previous testimony. Don't die. And yet you clearly stated that the one thing you were specifically focused on more than anything else was the milk bucket. Eric. Ergo, you should be able to confirm to the court whether or not the bucket really was placed in the ground. Ben, isn't that exactly like Phoenix Wright?
One's memory is not flawless, Sir Blue Knight. Pay attention to what the witness was saying. The accused probably placed the milk bucket on the ground. There is the possibility such was the case.
Yes, that's right. Isn't it, my little cuddle pumpkin? I knew it. There's something fishy about her testimony, but...
Indeed, it would seem we require a decisive piece of evidence if we are to expose the contradictions in these witnesses' testimonies.
Yeah, I just have to think of what that could be.
Okay, so it's something about Mary's testimony.
The scepter must have been hidden by magic and carried on her back.
Let's see.
Oh, go to the scepter? Can you look up what the other spell is?
It was, Demir.
Causes anything the caster touches to vanish from sight. Simply chant a mirror to make it reappear. Okay. The thing I was thinking is not true.
Yeah?
I was thinking, like, oh, well, could you use it, like, can you use, but I don't know. I thought maybe there was going to be something with specifics of the spell. What other stuff do we have?
The lantern.
That really doesn't tell us anything about the back.
Magic scepter.
Yeah. I don't think
the glasses and the bucket of milk.
Glasses. Brought it back to her farm. What's the original?
Original what?
Case file say?
Oh, sure, the case file.
The first piece of evidence, yeah. The use of witchcraft to burn 2 milk. Okay, there's nothing about. Okay.
Should we use a hint?
Yeah, sure. We have like 600 of them. Don't really know what that did.
Present on hint.
I see.
It's either the lantern or the milk.
Let's see. The girl just put the bucket down the ground and picked up the witch's magic stick. Put it on the ground. What contradicts this?
Is there something on the milk bucket I'm not understanding?
The thing that I'm thinking is, wouldn't the milk bucket be muddy if it was on the ground?
You're so right.
The thing is, I don't know which of these two you would need to present, right? Because you present the thing that's muddy or the bucket that isn't muddy.
Here's the thing. If it's not the... I think the chances are better. We can burn a life here, I think. If it's not the milk bucket.
Yeah, fair.
I think it's the milk bucket.
I think... Truly, it could be either also. Like, sometimes in the early stages, like, it could be two pieces of evidence. But also, we already got burned by the, like, that's the wrong hand, Phoenix.
Yeah, let's try bucket of milk.
Okay.
Objection.
Nice. I'm afraid what really happened is not quite so simple.
What you talking about?
It had only just stopped raining moments before the crime took place. As a result, the ground was very muddy. If Miss Cantabella really placed this bucket on the ground, like you claimed she did, then it should have been caked with mud just like the lantern was after it fell. Well, I'd say that clears up your muddy testimony, wouldn't it? Wouldn't you?
Well, hey, Bottom! What? You just gotta sit there looking pretty? Come on, give me a hand here. Flattery will get you nowhere, witness. Other than perhaps to the dungeon. At any rate, there is but one question we ought to ask. Why is there no mud on that bucket?
Just gotta say, how much some guy in Barnum / fiction is there?
Flattery will get you everywhere. To the witness with the goat, may I ask you a question?
Huh? Are you talking to us?
Indeed. Do you see anyone else with a fucking goat? You admitted to the court that you returned home with the milk bucket. Illegally, I must add.
Oh my. Such harsh words, Inquisitor.
When you took the bucket home, you must have simply wiped the mud from the bucket. Is that correct?
You know, now that you mention it... No way, don't tell me. That's milk bucket? Ah, that's right, I remember now. I don't know if that was on the bucket. I don't know if what was on the bucket was mud exactly, but it certainly was dirty. Before taking it inside with me, I remember wiping it down with an old rag. And then dipping the rag in the milk. Are you kidding me?
It skipped. I did not skip. Exceptional
You
work,
did
Inquisitor
skip.
Barnum.
Right. It all makes perfect sense. See? We were right all along, weren't we, Inquisitor Barnum?
I knew that sword worked just for show, Bottom. You sliced his argument in two.
Objection.
Thank you, King Fen. Witness, Miss Mary. What is it? You're absolutely sure there was mud stuck to this milk bucket? Oh my. Well, truth be told, I don't remember whether it was mud exactly. But I do remember cleaning the bucket off when I got home. You see my poor little goat pissed on it.
The defense has failed to disprove the witness's claims. Of that we can be quite certain. Ha ha! That'll teach you, Bluey! Wow, Bluey reference. You got that right. Do me a favor, will you, Gramps? I want to change my testimony just a tiny bit. We'll allow it, only if the witness refrains from name-calling in the future. You got here, Malone! Well, all this called mumbo-jumbo has had me thirstier than a dog in a desert, like a bluey in Australia. Good, oh, good, yes, good. At which there was on the stick. I even heard us say the incantation thingy. That's right, I witnessed it all.
Okay. They may all have their own reasons for accusing Espella, but there's also one thing they all have in common. They're really annoying. They genuinely believe Espella's a witch.
Were we to disprove that belief, there would be no way for them to regroup. Yes, I did hear your thoughts. I can do that.
That's how it works.
Because I'm a professor. The witnesses would have to acknowledge the truth of what happened tonight. They are, after all, witnesses. They must be fully aware of what actually transpired. Unless they're not, they didn't witness anything. That's totally possible.
That means I've got to pay extra attention to their reactions and testimonies. I think you'd better observe the witnesses, Mr. Wright. You can do it.
I can hear the thoughts of people, but only of men, because women don't think.
Oh. I've got to try and get the truth out of these witnesses somehow. What was that controversial episode comment?
Phoenix, Professor Layton can hear your thoughts at all times, and you will be punished if your thoughts are not correct enough. Take it down on this.
This is all the same, it's just that he changed his testimony.
So why don't we press him again and see if there's
Yeah,
reactions?
we should probably just press the new one. But no one knows for sure if Miss Cantabella dropped that milk bucket on the ground.
Because there's no mud on it? Is that what you're saying? Hey, we went over this already. We know the goat lady wiped off all the mud.
Objection!
However, Miss Mary doesn't clearly remember whether or not it was mud that was stuck on the bucket. We really don't remember, but maybe. I guess maybe there was mud on it. I mean, she couldn't hold the scepter without putting the bucket on the ground. Miss Mary, please give a definitive answer.
Phoenix, you are in trouble. Your friends are mad at you. You're trying to give him anxiety. You don't need to do that.
Good job, everyone. You gave this lawyer anxiety.
You all done, Bluey and Bingo. Talk all you want, cause it ain't gonna help. You see? The five of us, we saw what that witch went and did. We saw it clear as day. Oh, someone said, nope, that didn't happen. Yeah, that's what I fucking thought.
What is he doing? Excuse me, Mr. Earth to Gramps. This is all in character, too.
It is. Defender, when you say Gramps, might you by any chance be referring to me?
No, of course not, Your Honor. Mr. Wordsmith, are you listening?
I heard you quite clearly the first time, young man. These ears hear all. The crackling of the fire, the whispering of the crowd, and now your voice.
If that's the case, then allow me to ask you a question. You were clearly deep in thought just now. Do you have something to say about this man's testimony?
Where's the soda to court a cable? You think he's just on ketamine? No. He's got a whole cocktail.
He's flipping for sure.
He went to the apothecary. They gave him 4 different like breeds of opium. Indeed so. I felt something was amiss. However, what that means, I cannot say.
Amiss?
Witness, could you tell us what precisely was amiss with this third-rate testimony from this third-rate witness?
What a burn, Barnum.
5 heads are better than 1, 10 eyeballs are better than 2. As I listened to this man's testimony, I could not help become aware of something most odd. Whoa! New portrait. Tonight, when the crime occurred, we all made haste to that terrible scene. The delicious scent of mid-evening dinner permeated through the air. The shadows of those present cast through the dim light. And yet there were but 4 figures standing in that vicinity, myself included.
4? Hold on one sec. You're saying that there were only 4 witnesses at the crime scene tonight?
These eyes may be old, but they know what they saw.
Is something the matter, Miss Mary?
No, it's just that Snowy and I are trying to remember what happened at the time. I remember the flames erupting into the air. That's when Snowy and I made our mad dash to save the precious milk. When those 2 ruffians were set ablaze, the flame filled the area with light. In that sudden flash of light, we could see that there were other people around besides ourselves. And that's when I saw them, the other people that scrambled to the scene along with us. I'm quite sure of it. There were only 4 of us there at the scene of the crime.
Hold it, madam. What in blazes is going on? We have 5 witnesses on the stand, all claiming to have witnessed tonight's events firsthand. That means we have 1 witness too many.
Nightly.
Don't be stupid. Oi, you lot better stop speaking out of turn. All for one and one for all, remember? We all promised to take this week down together, didn't we?
It's not quite that simple. We saw what we saw.
Well, I'd say it's all about the numbers, and I counted, I say. I'll have you know, my counting is flawless. On nights where sleep eludes me, I can count sheep from moonrise to sunrise.
4 witnesses? 5 witnesses? What difference does it make? Things all started getting muddled when you showed up.
What the? You're saying it's my fault? I was there, you fool. Didn't I just finish saying that?
My testimony is strong as steel, even if it's not completely stainless. Actually, it's probably pure, isn't it?
Sorry?
Never mind.
No, what did you say?
I think Kira is lying.
Interesting. Why?
I literally have no reason to suspect anybody else, but Kira keeps being like, I don't know what's going on. Ha 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 ha.
Fair.
Which is like,
Fair.
I'm just waiting for the reveal of her going like, I'm a mastermind, actually.
Order! Order! I said order! What is going on here? You claim the number of witnesses does not add up? I have never paid witness to such an outrageous conflict. There is but one answer to this puzzle. A single possibility. What do you mean? Without a doubt, magic must have been used at the scene of the crime. Furthermore,
Oh my
it
God.
would indeed appear that there were only 4 witnesses present at the scene. And yet, currently, we are faced with 5 witnesses testifying to the court. That certainly is quite a fatal contradiction, with only one possible answer. Would you not agree, Mr. Wright?
The answer. It can't be.
Well, out with this supposed answer, Sir Blue Knight! What is your explanation for the current number of witnesses? One of them's a witch, baby!
Also, I truly don't think Knightley has the capacity to be a witch, let alone a knight.
It's Kira, you're right. It's totally
It's Kira.
Kira. Also, I just want to say, there's so many possibilities of what happened here. It does not, in fact, require one of them to be a witch. But
Oh yeah, there's so many possibilities.
they were... Yeah, anyway.
Anyways, while it might seem far-fetched, the reality is actually quite rather simple. The real witch and the real murderer in this case is actually one of these 5 witnesses.
What?
I was also gonna say, we solved this puzzle already earlier.
Did we?
Do you remember the murder of the king?
The what?
I think we're about to do something like that, where it's like, you know, one person's gonna be
Oh.
lying, right?
Sure. What?
The murderer is always in the room. Yeah, yeah, you're right, Ree.
You're telling us that this witch is among this group of witnesses? What other rubbish? There's no possible way that such a claim could be true. That's right. You've got a lot of nerve accusing one of us of being a witch.
We have told you nothing but the truth, yet you still have the gall to bat around such an outrageous accusation.
Behold, behold, as my trusty shield deflects your petty words like the petty words that they are.
Inquisitor Barnum? Yes, my lord. I would like to see a sketch of the crime scene at the time of the incident. Do you have one in your possession? Yes, certainly, my lord. I have one here.
Uh-huh.
I requested it from the court illustrator, just in case. Very well. Witnesses, I would like each of you to mark your location at the time of the murder. Here on this crime scene sketch. Quickly now.
The number of witnesses doesn't add up. It looks like we're getting somewhere now, but we haven't even scratched the surface of this case yet. And it's all thanks to this top hat wearing gentleman.
Thank God there's not 2 other people here.
The other 2 looking at Wright, being like, I'm here too.
The court accepts this crime scene sketch into evidence. Hey, Matt.
Yay. One
Hey,
of
I
the
wanna see
witnesses
this
is the
map
witch.
again.
Yeah. So, okay.
So there's the robbers.
I mean,
It's Kira.
it's her.
obviously.
It's Kira.
Obviously, it's fucking Kira.
Yeah. Anyways. That could only mean one thing. Somebody here isn't telling the truth.
That would indeed appear to be the case, Mr. Wright.
Stop reading my mind, Layton.
It's this thing called lying. Perhaps you've heard of it. Listen well, Sir Blue Knight. The path you tread now is a dangerous one. Claiming that a witch is among these most honorable witnesses is a serious accusation. Should it prove to be a false one, you will find yourself at the other end of my sword. Do I make myself clear?
Huh? But that wasn't so much my suggestion. I mean, the gentleman here with the lovely top hat was the one who urged me to say it.
It is the same thing, Sir Blue Knight. Indeed, it is the same thing, Sir Baker. It is the same thing, Mr. Wright.
Oh boy.
Layton will throw a man under the bus so fucking fast. That's a Tyler Durden situation.
To be fair, Wright did also just be like, actually kill him.
It's so funny. It's so funny. Now, ready your sword.
Ready?
Were you listening? You claim the witch is not the accused and someone else at the crime scene was the true culprit. If what you say is true, then surely you can tell the court exactly where this person was at the time of the crime, can you not? Come now, Sir Blue Knight. Only you can enlighten us as to who this real witch actually is. Sir Doe Defender. Show us where the witch was at the exact moment the murder took place.
Okay, where was the witch when the murder took place? This is what they drew, right? Like, they put their position when the crime happened.
So we need to say who the witch was.
So you're just picking one of them.
Okay, let's look at all our shit, okay? Within a 1 meter radius of the caster.
Ooh. Is it Knightley?
Is it Mary?
I think Knightley is... Oh, because it has to be them. So it actually can't be Kira.
It's not Kira. Within a
Is it the
1
old
meter
man?
radius. 1 meter is really small. I don't think any of these people are within 1 meter.
I don't think this is a very accurate map. I just
No.
think the 1 meter is supposed to rule out Kira.
I think you're right. Court record.
Kira has poor eyesight, so also couldn't see.
Mary
Bucket
was
of
really
milk.
close, though.
Mary was really close.
Because she stole the bucket.
And what do we know about the old man and Knightley? Like, what's true about them? Because we learned some things about the old guy.
He has really good hearing.
He's really bad hearing, I think. Like, he was just...
No, I think he was saying he had good hearing, though.
He was saying that, but was it true?
I don't know. I feel like I've lost the plot completely.
Okay, do we think it's her?
That's my best guess.
Okay, but here's the other thing. What if it was one of the two who were murdered and they missed?
Maybe?
Because if they really are more than a meter away,
Right, then it couldn't be either of them.
so the question of where were they would have to be like kind of right on them.
I think it has to be this thing, this Ignace thing.
Yeah, within a 1 meter radius of the caster. Right. So what we're saying is they're there, and so someone is lying. I think that's what we're doing.
So if we say present, fuck. I did not
Probably
mean to do
somewhere
that.
around here. Sorry. Which was standing from?
Somewhere around there. It looks like it is in your head that is currently somewhere else, Sir Blue Knight.
What do you mean?
I believe he's trying to convey that your answer was incorrect.
Well, he didn't need to be so harsh about it.
If I may, Mr. Wright, Keep in mind the real witch is among the witnesses, so we cannot be completely certain that their testimonies are all true. So it has to be one of them.
Yeah, but one of their things might not be true. Mr. Wright, the witch used the spell Ignaze, right?
Yeah.
Take a look at the Grand Grimoire. We're bound to find something in there. And if a witness is lying up a storm, whatever is inside the Grand Grimoire has to be the truth, right?
So it has to be...
Okay.
So,
No,
Dory
that's
Defender, do not waste the court's time with any more such ridiculous answers.
Darn it.
So, Dory Defender. So,
Okay.
she's
So
the
I-
closest, right?
Right, but I think what they're saying is someone's lying.
About where they were?
Yes.
You think?
Yeah.
I kind of want to use a hint coin.
Sure. I think it's around where you're... Yeah, okay. That's what I kind of thought. It's weird that it didn't give it to you, because I'm pretty sure we clicked, like, basically right there.
This is literally where we clicked.
I think we
What?
clicked, like, maybe down and to the left slightly.
So do we say it's her? Do we say it's one of them?
No, just click in the middle of the thing.
But that's where
That's
I clicked.
silly. We got it. We were right. I'm gonna say we were right.
What the fuck am I supposed to click?
Just click where it shows you.
But
You have a
it's-
big
it could
circle.
be-
Click in the center.
You think I should click the center of the circle?
Yes.
Got it.
There we go. The witch must have been standing here.
Objection.
What is the meaning of this? Unfortunately for you, that spot has absolutely nothing to do with any of these witnesses.
Objection.
I see. So you had to click on the spot that no one was, but really close,
I guess.
I guess. Inquisitor Barnum, I suggest you try taking a look at this.
The Grand Grimoire.
According to this tome, Ignaze summons a circle of flame within a 1 meter radius of the caster. In other words, the witch had to have been within 1 meter of the flame when casting the spell.
Objection.
Of course. You needn't say any more, Sir Blue Knight. First off, notice that there is no one else in that area other than the accused. Should also be quite obvious. From the sketch, there is clearly nowhere for anyone to hide.
Objection.
True, there aren't any hiding spots. However, there is one other possibility if a witch wanted to stay hidden from sight.
Most intriguing. Since you seem to love showing evidence, prove it! How was the witch able to hide in plain sight? Okay, let's just go to the Grand
Staff.
Grimoire.
It's the staff.
Oh, is it the... Do you think it's the staff, or you
It's the
think
staff.
it's Demir?
Because it... Oh, can you present from a Grand
Think so.
Grimoire?
Let's try it,
Oh,
huh?
then yeah,
Take
right? This Talea Magica contains 2 magic gems. Ignaze and one other spell. That's right, the spell Demir.
Demir! Ah! It cannot be!
That's right. There was most certainly a witch present at the crime scene, only they were completely invisible. All thanks to the magic spell Demir.
What foolishness! Order! Order in the court! Defender, what are you getting at? I thought the witch used Demir to make the Talea Magica disappear.
Objection.
According to the Grand Grimoire, under the entry for Demir, it causes anything the caster touches to vanish from sight. In other words, Supposing the witch were holding the staff in one hand while touching part of their body with the other, they would be able to make themselves disappear.
2 hands. Are you implying that is the reason for the conflicting number of witnesses? Indeed it is, which means witnesses. Someone amongst you is not disclosing the entire truth, and that person is the witch we seek. I believe this is the most probable scenario. It's Kira.
Kira.
Because of the glasses. That's how we're going to do it. Honorable witnesses, you will testify to the court
totally is
one
because of the
final time.
glasses.
What?
It totally is, because the glasses were there, right?
Yeah. Tell us exactly what you saw and what you did not see at the scene of the crime. How absurdly absurd. The purpose of this trial is to convict that girl of the crime, is it not?
That's right. We are not witches.
Witnesses, I ask that you listen. There is a witch mingling among you. That's right, I'm afraid you are all no longer brothers in arms. The true opponent here is within your own group.
The real witch is one of these 5 witnesses, huh? Fine by me. Time to put an end to this trial. Because also, she couldn't see, so I bet she was trying to kill Espella.
Yeah.
You wish to know where we were all standing tonight? It matters not. Would the flames not burn just the same?
That flame, I never saw anything like it. It quite literally left me speechless. I couldn't even so much as scream.
I heard the tiniest cry, and then when I turned around, the blotters were roasting. So I was right over.
I heard the incantation, then the flames suddenly erupted. I'm certain of it. I only saw 3 people there with us.
As I said, there were only 3 others present. Like that man there, who was stumbling around like a newborn calf. Most heinous act indeed. No small wonder these witnesses are so confused. A witch among the witnesses! What an utterly baseless claim!
I don't think so, Barnum. The only baseless claim in this case is of Spella being a witch. It's more than a little likely one of these witnesses is the culprit. These testimonies are bound to tell me who the real witch is.
Should we press on someone? Should we present the glasses? Like, should we press
Can
on
we
Kira?
read what Kira said? I never saw anything like this. It is quite literally left me speech. Glasses.
Should I press first?
If you want.
I'll press
I
first.
think I'm like 90% confident you present
Yeah.
the glasses on that.
Yeah.
It must have been pretty terrifying, huh?
Yes, it's the kind of thing you only read about in books. The moment that pillar of fire erupted, I could feel my throat tightening up. It was so difficult to breathe, I couldn't even manage so much as a scream.
Quite. After all, the flames engulfed the scene in the blink of an eye.
Yes. I'm sorry. That's why I can't really remember.
So you can't remember the number of people at the crime scene? Naturally, that's understandable, witness.
That's also why I was a little late getting to the scene compared to the others.
Reading books? Witch activity. So true.
So true. Should we just do it?
Up to you. Because what else do we have? I think glass is the only one that makes sense, right?
I think so. I'm gonna do it. Yeah, let's do
It
it.
says do it.
Let's do it.
Objection.
Nope. Wrong.
Nope. Darn. Well. There. How's that for your decisive evidence?
Damn it.
Unfortunately, our idea of what constitutes as decisive evidence differs greatly. Defender, please
I
refrain from
think
further
we're-
introducing this evidence.
Yeah, it might be a little too early. I think we have to do something first. We're gonna do that
Yeah.
later.
Or next time, it shall be you that is hurled from this courtroom, Sir Blue Knight.
Yikes! No need to get physical.
Okay, let's
Okay.
press.
Yeah,
Everyone.
let's just like see what people are saying, right? And find the context.
press everyone. See if anyone reacts.
In other words, you're not sure exactly what.
Happened tonight.
Defender, I fought with burning vigor this night. Do not belittle my efforts.
Right.
A knight does not just run away at the mere sight of fire. Huh.
No one even said anything about running away.
If I may be perfectly straight with you, the pillar of fire illuminated the area as it rose high into the air. There, by the fire, was the witch, and excluding the two unfortunate knaves, I counted 3 others at the scene.
Yeah, okay.
Hang on!
Hang on. Excuse me, Miss Kira. What do you want? You looked like you had something to say about the testimony just now. Well, it was about the number of people at the crime scene. Have you ever played the Daisy Pedal game? The Daisy Pedal game? 1 witness, 2 witnesses, 3 witnesses, 4 witnesses, 5 witnesses, 6 witnesses.
What an adorable game. Seems like something out of a fairy tale.
Seriously, Your Honor.
Anyway, you may continue your testimony, witness. Press.
Hold it!
The tiniest cry?
It might have been someone saying the incantation for that spell. My memory's kinda hazy on that one. Scared me good though. Never jumped up to me feet so fast in all my life. Nearly had a heart attack, I tells you. Jumped up? That's right. Still raining cats and dogs. Just being a resourceful chap that I am, I decided to doze and retreat for a bit.
Hang on!
Is everything alright, Mr. Wordsmith?
What is it that you want this time, young one?
I just wanted to know if you had any thoughts on the testimony just now.
Ah, yes. Thoughts about slumbering under trees, you mean?
Slumbering?
I often find myself weaving the most intricate of dreams under that very tree. Of course, I could not nap tonight, not with that uncouth man usurping my special dreaming spot, could I?
Are you using this cross-examination to argue over a napping spot?
Let us hope such arguments do not lead to any criminal acts in the future. Witness, please continue your testimony. He's a K-hole for sure.
Hold it!
I actually am starting to believe it was Mary because
Could
of
be
the witch's
Mary.
familiar. Yeah. Are you absolutely certain?
Well, I believe so, but then when you think about it... Can anyone really be absolutely certain of anything?
It's suspicious. It worries me that you're saying that in the middle of a cross-examination.
I believe the witness means there's no way she can be certain whether there were 4 witnesses or 5 at the crime scene.
Anyhow, there was a matter of great importance that Snowy and I had to attend to.
You mean...
That's right, the milk. If any soot had got into that milk, it would be a tragedy to end all tragedies.
Hang on!
Could I stop you there, mister?
No, you cannot.
Mister?
Oh, whoa! Tone that volume, Bluey and Bandit.
That's my line. Does anyone come to mind regarding Miss Mary's testimony?
Nope, not really. Nothing important, anyways. Just that I think this old lady's full of it.
Huh?
I'm talking about the milk, man! The milk! You'll know the second you try the stuff. It ain't nothing to write home about, let me tell you.
What are you saying, you dolt? Who on earth would let you drink anything as delicious as the milk from my farm? A ruffian like you is better served by whatever unthinkable liquid is in that never-ending mug of yours.
Oh, wait, no, that was the shame. Are you guys using this cross-examination to argue over milk?
Let's hope such arguments do not lead to any criminal acts in the future. Witness, please continue your testimony.
Milk and napping. What a combo.
Hold it!
So including yourself, there were a total of 4 witnesses at the crime scene, correct?
That is how it has come to pass.
By the way, what do you mean by stumbling around like a newborn calf?
Ah, yes, that was a man as inebriated as he was loud. Quite the humorous sight it was, I dare say.
You must mean the witness permanently glued to his cup of whatever it is he's drinking.
When I saw the flames rise up into the sky, I wondered to myself, why would? Whatever could that be? However, I could not simply walk over to check. My knees were a bit weak from shock, you see. That's when the wobbly-legged gentleman came running over.
Hang on!
Is something the matter, mister? Mister?
Whoa! Tone down the volume, Bluey and Chili.
That's my line again.
Sir Blue Knight, next time please think before trying to press this witness.
Like this guy even managed to scare Burnham half to death. Now then, sir, about Mr. Wordsmith's testimony just now. He claimed you were stumbling around. What does he mean by that?
I'm gonna set the record straight right now. In no way was I stumbling around anywhere. I like to think of it more like staggering with style. A responsible adult should know better than to go stumbling around in the dead of night. Hey, look, I don't just go stumbling around like some clumsy idiot. I've got more sense than that. But anyway, kinda tripped over a large stone. I mean, you don't exactly see what's on the ground in front of you when you're running at full pelt, right? So, you could say I put my life out on the line, proving that you really need to watch where you're going when you run.
How courageous of you. Someone give this guy a medal.
My lord, this testimony is a meaningless waste of everyone's time. Well, defender, is there a point to this particular line of questioning?
Ah.
I don't think so.
Fair. Have we tried anything, like everything else?
Kind of, yeah. Is there anything
think we
worth
should push
pursuing
this
here? What
then.
should I do? Not worth it?
I think you should push it.
You sure?
What else? We've clicked on everything else, right?
Push on what?
Like, I thought this was the last option.
What do you mean?
Like, did we pushed on every other?
We pressed everyone.
Yeah, so this is the only route left, right?
Is what? Question
the one we're
further.
currently in. Right? Like, there's nothing we're missing.
There's nothing we're missing.
Okay, then yeah.
Question further, you think?
Yeah. The witness stated earlier that he tripped over a large stone. Mister, I have one question for you. Why weren't you watching what was in front of you?
Well, to be honest with you, it ain't much of a real reason, but something suddenly caught me attention. Out of nowhere, I sort of heard someone call out my name. You heard your name? Of course, I turned around when I heard it. Who wouldn't? When a woman calls your name, you pay attention, am I right?
So, you heard someone call out, "Hey you," from behind, you mean?
What? I said they called out my name. How many guys do you know called out you? My name is Amir. And don't you forget it, Bluey. You hear me? I must say, this gentleman really does not strike me as an Amir.
You know, Professor, it's not a very memorable name, huh?
That's harsh.
Honorable witnesses, is there anyone
Yeah.
among you who was aware of this man's name prior to now?
No.
Not at all. He's always just been Mr. to me.
A knight's name is only as good as the name of the sword he carries.
It is the first I have heard of this. I dare say I did not expect his name to be one such as Amir.
I'm sorry, but I didn't know his name either. I only remember the names of my most
Yeah, it
loyal
was caravanting
customers.
yourself behind him.
Yeah.
Okay. It looks like absolutely no one knew this witness's name.
You know, it ain't really much of a surprise to me either. But seriously, I've definitely heard someone call me name. When you get to be me age, you really start to wonder what you'll find that true love, you know? I thought that pretty voice might have been me sweetie. Okay. Your Honor, I don't believe we should be so quick to label Mr. Amir's testimony meaningless. Would you not agree? I request that the witness add this amusing anecdote to his testimony. Understood. Witness, amend your testimony, but please reflect only the important points of your story. Okay, cool. So our call's gonna end in a few minutes. Why don't we?
I was just
before
gonna
we-
say.
Yeah, present. Why don't we go out and back in? I'm
I'm
telling
not
ya.
convinced we're gonna finish this trial soon.
Yeah, but
Maybe
I want to
we will.
click the button.
Okay. All right.
I'm telling ya, I heard someone call me name and I was looking around trying to find him. Okay.
Okay. Do you want to like go to break, jump out, and
Go
jump
to
back
break,
in?
jump out, jump back in, and we'll get to at least pressing this button.
We'll be right back, then.
You're back. All right, let's push this button and see what happens, huh?
Push that button. Wait, have we pushed on his thing? He just
We-
added something to his testimony, right?
Yeah, but let me present. Should we just present?
I think think we might have to push first.
You think?
Hold it!
Okay.
Or press, sorry. Excuse me, Amir.
I don't sweat it, Bluey. Mr. AU, it's all the same to me.
You stated that you heard your name being called from behind. Are you absolutely sure about that?
Ah, well, right or wrong, it's just sounded like my name. I mean, what else could it have been? Wouldn't have remembered it happening if I hadn't heard something, right? Still. Maybe this chance just imagined it, huh? But anyway, I remember it came from somewhere behind me.
From somewhere behind you.
Is something the matter, Mr. Wright?
Mr. Amir's memory isn't the most accurate, but if what he says is true, then there's definitely something there.
Something, you say? Might you mean a contradiction?
Yeah, I think so. Although, I don't know. There's just something strange about his testimony. I don't see any decisive evidence in the court record that can help. You were right.
Do you mean to say you found a contradiction that cannot be supported by the evidence?
Objection!
My lord, this line of interrogation is a complete waste of the court's time. Defender, I must warn you, from here on, any unnecessary questioning will be dealt with accordingly.
I don't answer correctly here. It's curtains for the trial and first ballot. Do what you were gonna do. You were right.
If you are intent on finding a fault in this witness testimony, you will need to present decisive evidence to back up your claims.
There's not one single piece of decisive evidence in the court record. What do I do now?
Mr. Wright,
Mr. Layton?
I have an idea. I believe there is a weapon of sorts with which you may be able to expose this contradiction without the need of evidence.
A weapon?
Now, defender, give us your answer.
Yes, Your Honor. The defense finds that the witness's testimony contains a clear contradiction. Yeah. Well... Your Honor, the defense believes there is a huge contradiction in the witness's testimony.
Objection!
It's called evidence forgery.
What is this? You must be an even bigger fool than I thought, Sir Blue Knight. You really do not possess even a sliver of common sense, do you?
Objection!
If I may interrupt for just a moment, Inquisitor Barnum. Allow me to ask you this. What need is there for common sense in a world that forgoes using it? Accordingly, I must humbly ask that you discard such a manner of thinking. Whatever do you mean? You have my utmost thanks for placing your trust in me, Mr. Wright. Let us discuss the one remaining weapon in this cross-examination.
The remaining weapon.
This trial has taught us a very valuable new technique to be used in the courtroom, has it not?
You mean questioning, right, Professor?
Indeed it is, Luke. Each of the witnesses in this trial has given their own account of what occurred. Therefore, whenever one witness has testified, the other's remaining witnesses have listened. That gives me an idea. In addition to catching a witness off guard and questioning them about another's testimony, there is one more thing.
There's something else we can get from a 5-person cross-examination? That's right, of course.
Indeed, Mr. Wright, contradictions. Should one witness's
witness-
testimony differ from another's testimony, then I suppose that in itself can also be considered a contradiction, can it not?
Testimony contradicting testimony. I never would have thought of that until now.
Enough! Sir Blue Knight, are you prepared to present to the court evidence proving the contradiction within the witness's testimony?
Witness's testimony does not contradict any evidence. It contradicts a testimony.
What are you even talking about?
You wouldn't download a testimony.
It is time, Mr. Wright. Have a look at the touch screen. There, you will see the testimony of the witnesses in question, as well as those of other witnesses. Keep your eyes peeled and identify the contradicting testimony. Alright, let's give this another shot, Nick. And make sure you don't forget to take a look at the court record, too.
So we've pretty much figured out what happened. Now we have to figure out the contradiction. Oh, I hurried to the scene, but then I ended up tripping when I heard someone call me behind me.
So it's this, obviously.
Well, how does that contradict?
It contradicts because she doesn't know his name.
Well, that doesn't actually imply that it was her.
She was right behind him, though.
Right. But that... I guess let's read the other ones first. Just
The thing is, I know what it is, but I don't know how to
Well-
prove to the game.
Right, it's not always, like, sometimes you're getting a little ahead of yourself. Can we read all of their testimonies before we choose?
Missionary is all standing there, but is not with the flames not burned just the same.
So that's not relevant.
That flame, I never saw anything like it. It quite literally left me speechless. Speechless. Hearing
Well,
someone call me a name from behind.
maybe. I
Right.
do think it's that, but I want to read all of them.
I heard the incantation, the flames suddenly erupted. I'm certain of it. I only saw 3 people there with us.
Only saw 3 people. Okay.
As I said, there were only 3
Okay.
others present, like that man there was stumbling around like a newborn calf.
Yeah, it's her.
So do I click question?
I guess so.
Objection.
Yo!
The person contradicting this man's testimony.
Is none other than you, Miss Kira.
Are you pointing at me? At the time of the incident, that man heard someone's voice call his name.
That voice belonged to you, Miss Kira. It could not have been anyone else.
And yet, in your testimony, you stated that you were in such shock during tonight's events that you couldn't even speak.
This is a clear contradiction.
Objection.
What is the meaning of this, Defender? Can you really claim to trust this sham of a witness and his sham of a testimony?
Objection.
That man's character is beside the point. His testimony is anything but a sham. As he watched the flames erupt, his attention was drawn to a voice behind him, which in turn made him fall over.
He heard a woman's voice calling his name, a very concrete reason, and reason enough to believe his testimony.
Objection.
If it is as you say, then explain why you feel this witness is somehow responsible.
That's right. Why me? People barely hear me when I'm out selling my flowers. That's how soft my voice is. And besides, there was another woman at the scene, wasn't there? Me? What are you getting at, young lady? Do you honestly think a woman my age would be out late at night in the forest flirting with questionable men?
Besides... Oh,
Besides, I didn't even know this pathetic man's name. How could I have called out to him? I only date goats.
Neither did I, and even if I did know his name, do you really think he's the kind of guy any self-respecting girl would want?
come on, ladies. I'm standing right here, you know.
As I was saying, the only person that guy could have heard from behind him was you, Miss Kira.
The defense wishes to present evidence to prove this claim.
This is when we present the thing.
Yeah. To accuse a witness like this young lady here, why, this is simply unheard of. I must warn you, Defender. If you cannot prove your accusation to this court, you will see the underside of my gavel. Show us the evidence. Present the area map, right?
No, wait.
Was the
Proving
one,
this young
because she was
lady
behind
the
him.
one who called out. Yeah, I think that, or it's the Grand Grimoire thing. I think it's this one, though.
I think so.
Take that.
No.
Yes, it is.
Take a look at this and you'll have your answer.
This is the crime scene sketch.
You can see the position of each witness during the crime. The only person that he could possibly have heard from behind him was none other than Miss Kira. Sorry, the music usually stops when you're right. It just didn't stop immediately.
Listen here, Sir Blue Knight. I will only tell you this one more time. A sham of a witness yields only a sham of a testimony. That is all there is to it. Did you, in fact, see this flower girl's face? You know, now that you mention it, seeing as I'd fallen down and all, I don't think I saw her face.
Okay, but you heard her voice, right?
Let me think. Voice came out of nowhere. It's kind of high-pitched. I guess it kind of sounded like her. But I can't say whether or not it was this girl's voice. And there you have it, Sir Blue Knight. Such a pity.
Huh?
My lord, it is clear that this defense's claim is nothing but a pointless waste of the court's time. I recommend you deliver unto them a penalty befitting such behavior. Indeed, Inquisitor. Ready yourself, defender? What is that laughter?
Pardon me, my lord. It looks like you finally arrived at a decision. That means that has nothing to do with this has nothing to do with me. Isn't that right, Inquisitor Barnum?
What are you saying?
I'm saying that it's time for me to stop peddling testimony and get back to peddling flowers. I mean, look at all these flowers left over. It's going to take until sunrise to sell them all if I stay here any longer. Or maybe, my lord, you and the rest of the court would be interested in buying my entire stock of flowers to help a girl out?
No, I don't think, I mean...
Then it's settled. Now, if you'll excuse me, my apologies for the interruption.
Understood. This court will dismiss the witness. Well, Miss Kira, it would seem you are beginning to show the court your true colors.
Oh, whatever do you mean? Okay then, everyone. It looks like that's that.
Hold it!
Wait, you can't leave yet. This cross-examination isn't over.
Now that's funny. You say it isn't over, and yet the rest of the court seems to think otherwise. Isn't that right, Inquisitor Barnum?
The Inquisition maintains that the real witch is the accused, Spella Cantabella. This girl is nothing more than a witness. As such, the court cannot force her to stay against her will.
This is bad. If they let her walk out now,
Nick, do you think she could be...
the real witch.
You really like throwing around accusations, don't you, Sir Defender? Let me spell it out for you one last time so even you can understand. I didn't know this man's name at all before today. I still don't remember it. So, how could I have called out to him? Do you get it now? Now then, until we meet again, don't forget to buy some flowers on your way home, everyone.
And then she disappears like a witch.
Hold it!
One moment, please, Miss Kira.
Is there something else you wanted?
You don't seem to realize what you've just let slip.
What are you talking about?
This man testified that he heard his name called at the crime scene. However, you had no knowledge of his name at the time, is that correct?
That's right. This weirdo's just imagining things. Like I said, I've already forgotten his name, even though he told it to us earlier.
There's just one problem, Miss Kira. Namely, what the voice you heard tonight was actually saying.
Huh?
What do you mean? That's obvious, it was a name, wasn't it? Now, what was that name again? My lord, I'm still here, you know. You're saying that what this man heard tonight wasn't a name, but rather something else entirely? Indeed I am, Inquisitor Barnum.
Something else. Aha! There's only one thing it could be. It's a stretch, but the possibility is there. It's the milk buckets.
That's right, Mr. Wright. That single possibility is the key to solving this mystery. Is the
The
defense
milk
ready
spells it out.
to present its evidence to the court?
This is ridiculous. I demand you let me go this instant.
Witness, what you are being accused of is not to be taken lightly. You will not leave this courtroom so long as any reasonable doubt remains. Defender, you may present your evidence. Show the court what the voice this man heard tonight was really saying, shall we?
Yep, do it.
Take that!
Excuse me, mister. I'm sorry, what's your name again? You've, got a name that no one seems to be able to remember for some reason.
Hey, it's Amir! My name's Amir, darn it. How many times have I got to say it? No matter the number of times you say it, you do not look like an Amir.
Again, I only remember my most loyal customers' names, and he doesn't look like he could afford even a single daisy.
Come on, guys. Stop kicking a guy with his down.
Mr. Amir, what you heard tonight at the crime scene was not your name. Your name just so happens to sound exactly like a certain other name.
Another name?
The answer is right here in this tome. I'm talking about Amir.
Amir?
What he actually heard at the time wasn't his own name. It was the name of a magical incantation.
What the?
Miss Kira, have you forgotten what you said just a few minutes ago? You quite clearly stated that you didn't know this man's name.
Objection!
What's up, Blue Knight? Let me get this straight. You're saying that the Amir heard by the witness was actually sent by this flower girl, and that it was not his name at all, but rather the incantation of a magic spell?
The defense proposes the following. The true criminal, this supposed witch, is not the defendant, Miss Spella Cantabella, but instead the witness who was heard uttering the magic incantation, Miss Kira. She's our witch. You used magic to vanish from the scene and tried to frame Miss Cantabella instead. No!
What just happened?
What just happened? Is that girl? Is Spella really not a witch?
Unbelievable! I've never heard anything like this! Inquisitor
Inquisitor
Barnum!
Barnham? Have these two really defeated Inquisitor Barnham?
Objection!
An impressive display, Sir Blue Knight. It would seem you have finally managed to hone your blade. However, I believe that blade's edge is already beginning to dull.
What do you mean?
I'm referring to a contradiction, naturally.
Hey, that's my line.
My lord, the Inquisition would like to set the record straight regarding what transpired this evening. Very well, Inquisitor Barnum. Sir Blue Knight, you claim the following. At the time of the crime, the accused, Spella Cantabella, was surrounded by the two rogues. Then, in order to frame the accused as a witch, Miss Kira cast the spell Demir and made herself vanish. She then moved in closer to the victims, at which point she cast Ignase, thus causing the incident seen by our witnesses tonight. Indeed, that does seem to be the claim. The problem is what happened next. There's a contradiction in the defense account of Miss Kira's movements.
contradiction in her movements.
Allow me to continue. Witnesses have stated that they each ventured out towards the crime scene. Which is when Miss Kira, the witch, made her way to this point, while still invisible. When she arrived at said spot, she then cast a mirror and reappeared to join the other witnesses. There you have it. That is accurate, isn't it, Sir Blue Knight?
That's correct. And Mr. Amir heard her call his name.
Well, then I have but one question I would like you to answer. Why would a witch need to do such a thing?
What do you mean?
Supposing Miss Kira were a witch, surely she would not have made the conscious decision to reappear when she did. One would imagine she would remain hidden and flee the crime scene.
Quite right. That's what I'd do if I was a witch.
Given that point, there would be no viable reason for her to recite the incantation. In other words, it is inconceivable to this flower seller Miss Kira could be a witch.
What?
What just happened?
What just happened?
Go.
Is that girl, is Kira really not a witch?
Inquisitor Bonham just turned this entire trial right around.
Just what I'd expect from Labyrinthia's Sword of Justice. Barnum, Barnum, Barnum.
That's right. You all heard it. It's just as Inquisitor Barnum said. Me, a witch. The idea is laughable.
Those witch-looking ass.
Not good. She's completely bounced back on her feet.
Ooh, we were so close, too.
I can't believe Inquisitor Barnham. Can't he see it? You just have to take one good look at her. It's obvious she's the real witch here.
Remember, Mr. Wright, at times like this, a cool head will prevail.
Mr. Layton,
I'm sure you have had to fight your way out of circumstances such as these many times before. This situation is no different. As a defense attorney, what would you usually do at such a time?
what would I usually do? Of course. There's only one thing that can get me out of a situation like this. I've gotta flip this case on its head and think outside the box.
It would seem the defense has nothing further to add.
Why, of course. That's because everyone knows the truth. They know that girl right there is the real witch. That settles it then. Go ahead and deliver your verdict, my lord.
Objection!
The situation is exactly as you described, Inquisitor Barnham. It really doesn't make much sense for the witch to have used a mirror. Regardless, the defense still maintains that Miss Kira did utter that incantation and make herself reappear. Now the question is, for what reason? If she really didn't have to use that spell, then why use it in the first place? If I can find the answer to that question, then this entire case will start to unravel.
Most fascinating. Very well, allow us to hear this theory of yours. Tell the court why it was necessary for the witch to appear at the crime scene.
Well, we're still in the game. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. That's exactly how that quote goes. The reason Miss Kira reappeared at the scene of the crime was...
Should we stop here?
Yeah, I think so.
I think this is gonna go on longer.
I suspected it would, yes.
I
These
I thought-
cases are always longer than you think they
I thought
are.
we might get through it in 30 minutes. We haven't. I'm calling
No,
it. We will finish this up next
no.
time.
Yeah, we'll finish it up. We'll just leave the DS running for the week.
Just leave the DS running. I'll just put it in sleep mode. It's fine.
Yeah.
Plug it in. Okay, folks.
But I mean, we know why it is, right?
We know it's about the glasses.
Yeah, but which one of these is it?
It's one of these.
So true.
We'll talk about it
Okay.
next time. Okay.
We'll talk about it next time. Bye.
Bye.
Night.
Good night.